You know, it'd be great if I could do a stop motion intro for this video, but pfft, like that's ever gonna happen. Like, I am far too lazy for that. Are you kidding me? No, no. Yeah, I'm too lazy. Hello, ladies and gentlemen that are perusing the internet today. Today I'm going to be reviewing Jason and the Argonauts from 1963, directed by Don Chaffee, and but more importantly, yeah, I had to look to see who the director was because all we care about is Ray Harryhausen doing the special effects. So let's get right into it, shall we? So the story of Jason and the Argonauts is basically the myth of Jason and the Argonauts put to film. I mean, obviously. You know, I really don't need to go into it because, you know, it's pretty simple. You know, he gets a crew together and they're off to get a golden fleece. And I mean, there's more to it than that. But, you know, this movie isn't exactly, you know, you don't watch it for the plot. But basically, they get a crew together and get a golden fleece to prove their worth and make their land better. And I really suck at describing plots, so let's move on. Jason the Argonauts is a classic adventure movie. It's not my favorite Harryhausen movie. You know, I used to say it was because, you know, it's like the thing I just wanted to fit in because, you know, that's everybody's favorite. But I actually prefer Seventh Voyage of Sinbad a little bit. But you know, for the creatures, this is the best Ray Harryhausen movie. Now, unfortunately, Ray did pass away earlier this year, and that really depressed me. I made a couple videos about that. Unfortunately, they got deleted. So yeah, Ray is one of my idols. I mean, he's one of the top 3. I never met the guy, but I feel like I did, and it's like, I miss him. I really miss him. But he left behind a great legacy, and, you know, Jason the Argonauts, I've said it before, it's classic, man. I mean, I wish I was one of those kids growing up watching this on TV in, like, the 70s and 80s. I first saw this in, I think it was 7th grade. I took mythology class. I saw this and Clash of the Titans, and I much prefer this to Clash of the Titans. So, Clash of the Titans is not a bad movie. You know, and I appreciated the special effects even then. But once I got into film and stuff, and knew about Ray Harryhausen, you know, I just appreciate this movie so much. It's inspired everybody. It literally has inspired everybody that works and makes films about science fiction, fantasy, adventure, you know, stuff like that. It just inspired everybody, and it's just, I've said it before, but it is classic. The plot is basically, you know, adventure movie. It's the characters, standard adventure movie. But what's his name? Todd Armstrong as Jason. You know, he's good, but he's really the only face you remember out of the whole movie. So it's not about the actors. It's about the effects. It is about these effing effects that are so incredible. I mean, you could just go through all of them and just, like, that's one of the most classic stop motion scenes ever filmed. It just is so ingrained into pop culture. Okay, there's Talos. That thing is still scary. Talos is creepy, especially when you first see him move and his head is moving. I can't talk today. His head moves to the side and the metal cracking. That's still scary. Okay, it's not really scary, but it's still awesome. There's the harpies. Those things are awesome. Then you have the Hydra. And, like, can you imagine how hard that would be to animate? All, like, what does it have, like 7 or 8 heads? I mean, I can't even, like, animate a ball rolling and make it look good, let alone a giant puppet with 7 or 8 heads. It's like, it's one of those things, like, imagine how much thought process you'd have to put into that. It's incredible. That's such an awesome fight. You know, it's like, ugh. It makes you feel like a kid again because it's like, it's making me pretend I have a sword in my hand, for God's sakes. I mean, it's just so great. And then, of course, you have the absolute best stop motion scene ever put to film. It's the best one there's ever going to be. There's absolutely no comparison to anything else. What do you think it is? It's the skeletons. Those skeletons, I can watch that scene over and over again. It's one of those few scenes that never gets old. It absolutely never gets old. It's just, I don't even have words to describe it. It's so famous for such a good reason. It just blows my mind. It's so beautiful. It's like the integration between the people fighting and the skeletons. It's unbelievable. It's literally unbelievable. It's movie magic. I mean, That's the only word to describe it. Movie magic. The thing about Ray that I find so incredible is that, okay, you take a random special effects artist, say Stan Winston, and it's like, people love Stan Winston, but you're usually going for something else as well. Like, okay, maybe he's doing Jurassic Park and you're going for Spielberg directing. But Ray, in all his movies, you're going for special effects, and that's it. I find that so incredible. You're going for the special effects 50 years later, and there's nothing else for the draw. It's literally only the special effects that we come to watch. Like, he is the only guy that has happened to in cinema history, and judging by the way things are going, I'm pretty sure he's going to be the only guy that's ever going to happen for. Because you got teams of thousands working on big budget CG movies nowadays. Now, I'm not begging on CG. I know it takes a lot of work, but, you know, it's not... You can't identify with the artist because there's so many of them. But with Ray, he did effects we're talking about half a century later, but he did it by himself in a dark room, which... How? I mean, it's like, it boggles my mind. Like, because, you know, I've done stop motion. I'm assuming a lot of you have at least tried stop motion, because everybody seems to understand it. Okay. It's hard. Like, yeah, kind of an understatement. It's really hard. Like, I periodically try it. You know, I suck at it. I really suck ass at it, because I'm not patient enough. I don't have enough imagination to, like, put it into the characters. And, you know, it's like, I just can't do it. But Ray can do it so well, and I think that's a talent that very few people have. But, you know, as I've said, Jason and the Argonauts, total classic. If you're looking for a good time adventure movie, you know, this is one of the best. It just makes you feel like a kid again. It just gives you that nostalgia that everybody's looking for. Show it to your kids, if you have kids, of course. You know, I really hope that parents introduce these movies to the next generation, because I certainly will be. You know, I think we should really pass these down, and now that Ray's unfortunately passed, it's our job to continue his legacy. And, you know, it's just classic. I love watching it on a rainy Sunday afternoon. Judging the whole movie together, I can't give it a 10 out of 10. It'd probably get an 8 something in the 8 to 9. But for the special effects, it totally makes up for it. So I think it makes it a 10 out of 10 movies just because of those effects. Because, you know, they're unbeatable. They're just so iconic. Like, you know, it's 10 out of 10, sure. You know, Jason the Argonauts is a 10 out of 10. So down below, tell me what's your favorite Ray Harryhausen movie. Mine is probably Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. I also really like Mysterious Island. That's a really good one. I'm probably just going to go through all of them, because I really enjoy all of them. But one more one I have to mention. Sorry, I will end this video soon. 20 Million Miles to Earth is my favorite of his black and white. It's my favorite of his science fiction films. Check that movie out. That one is awesome. But anyways, I'm sure I bored you enough. So thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Good night, everybody!